Hello, I have not done a new makeup video for a little bit of time, and I thought I would talk about some interesting things that have been coming out. If you want to see a part two, because I haven't done this for a while, so there's a lot that has been released. Let me know and I'll do it. First thing is a new Natasha Denona palette. This is I Need a Warm palette. So this is like the I Need a Nude, but slightly, look, it says it's warmer, but then they've got a whole row down the bottom of like cooler tone browns. I would just say I need a brown. The I Need a Nude is very one note. It is a lighter palette. I kind of like the depth of this. They also have like a multi-chrome, it looks like in there. So I think this looks interesting. I just feel like this is getting so boring. This is like a mix between multiple different palettes that are already in the range, but obviously they sell, so that's why they're there. It's officially launching on the 22nd and it rolls out in different countries. Like I think in Australia it's coming out early September. So if you wanted something like this, like slightly warmer, slightly deeper, you've got it. Oh, and if you're wondering if this had been leaked, apparently it had. Someone messaged me, I think last week or the week before, saying, "Have you seen this palette?" I hadn't seen it. They must have been doing a pretty good of like hiding the leaks, but it was leaked. I haven't seen swatches yet, so I'm not sure how this swatches, but yeah, I know people are going to buy it. Something that I'm more excited about is the Beetlejuice collection from NYX. Now, I love the original Beetlejuice, and I saw an ad for the new movie that's coming out. I love that it's got the same cast and everything. I'm like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see it. It's a movie that I hold dear to my heart. So we've got a lot of things, and again, the price point of NYX is pretty good. I don't know if this has come to Australia, but I'd totally buy some of I'll show them to you, but they're like the butter glosses and they're sort of striped and they've got like green. It looks cool. So there's a palette, a sponge, glosses, reusable under eye patches, which are kind of interesting. I'll show you a photo of that soon. A cheek palette. Oh, these are the butter glosses and another gloss, and some liners that have, I think they're dual ended. This is the cheek palette. The eyeshadow palette, not my cup of tea, but could be yours. This is a bad screen grab, but you can see there's a red gloss. Sponge. I like these. I think these look cool. I would totally get like this one. I think they're fun. These are the reusable eye patches. They look like they've got jelly. They're like, probably can put serum or put them in the fridge, put serum underneath, put them on, cooling, blah. So there you go. Another thing that we've seen, so this is not actually shown from NYX yet. This is Trend Mood showing a sneak peek. It is a holiday collection coming from NYX. They do have like the swirled butter glosses in what I would assume is probably different scents. So they're sort of inspired by, I guess, Too Faced doing that. But these look nice. And then this is a collaboration with Home Alone, which is weird. I'd be more inclined, I think the products look okay. I think the Home Alone vibe is unnecessary. Like the products don't have the Home Alone packaging, but then it's like, what's the point? I do like the look of this palette. These are colors that I'd totally wear. I like that you've got sort of two columns of nudes and then two columns of sort of festive fun colors with different texture. I like that. I think this is nice. Some little face palettes. Again, I'm feeling very Too Faced here. It's feeling very Too Faced inspired. There's also an advent calendar, which is whatever. We have a new palette from Nomad. This is an artist's autumn palette. Is that what they actually have called it? But it's, we'll look at the info. So it's inspired by Fuji in fall. There you go, a lot of information. 15 pan color palette, 9 vivid mattes, 5 luminescent shimmers, and 1 brilliant duochrome. It's not limited edition, $44 US, launching on the 20th. So if you're interested, these are not my colors. Cannot be further from my colors, but I know that some people do love this. I love that they've put in some vibrant reds. I think there's not many palettes that do them really well, but you also have yellows and blues. So this is an interesting palette. Speaking of what I suspect to be a holiday palette, Urban Decay, this is a sort of sneak peek of the City Space Cowboy Star palette. Now, the reason why I think this is going to be a holiday palette is because last year they brought out the little sort of palettes with this formula, or the what do they call it? The Moon Dust formula, and they had like the Space Cowboy one, and it sold out really quickly, and there wasn't much stock, so they didn't restock it in Australia at least. It came out in Australia in January, which was bullshit in my opinion. Anyway, I feel like this is the second iteration of it. They're like, that sold out, that did really well, so let's do another palette inspired by Space Cowboy, and then some complementary shades around it. This looks tacky, but I kind of really like it. I don't know why. There's a part of me that's like, this is the kind of bulky that I think is kind of interesting. Here's some swatches. So it looks like there's 2 mattes, a shimmer, and maybe 3 Moon Dust formulas. So I'm guessing, I don't know if that's right, but they look very similar, but they've got the Moon Dust one, the Space Cowboy, sorry, in the center. It looks like it's a bigger pan as well. I love this eyeshadow, so I don't hate this. There you go. So I think that, yeah, I'm not quite sure the formulas. It looks like there's at least 2 that are Moon Dust formulations. I don't know. I would swatch this in store. I don't need it because I've got the single, but it's pretty. The last thing I want to talk about, and again, I can do a part 2 if people want to see more. There's a new product from Naked Sunday. So this is the Beauty Screen Peptide Foundation Tint SPF 50. So it's a lightweight 2-in-1 mineral sunscreen foundation tint with SPF 50 plus SPF 50. So it's got skin boosting peptides and antioxidants, light to medium coverage buildable, 13 comfortable skin perfecting shades. This is interesting to me. I actually do really like this sunscreen brand. Their mineral sunscreen? It's very, very thick, but it feels really nourishing. It's not greasy on my skin. It's quite, I like it. I think it's really nice. Theirs is a physical sunscreen as well, so it's very hard to find physical sunscreens that don't leave like a really strong white cast. So I really like their foundation. I love their, sunscreen. I love their top-up mist. It is divine. So I would buy this. I'm sort of hating all my foundations at the moment. I find that they're either too cakey, too full coverage. I would buy one of these and test it out. So this is on my list of something to track down. I should actually do it this week and try to do like a wear test on it and how it works, because it interests me. Also, Naked Sundays has recently come to the US. So if you wanted to try Australian sort of approved sunscreens, an Australian sunscreen brand in the US, I know that we have very, very high sort of requirements for our sunscreens, and I've heard people that come to Australia, they buy a lot of sunscreens here, they bring it back to where they've come from because they work a lot better. So you can actually access this now. I forgot where they're stocked. I'll have a look. Okay, my quick Google, it looks like they're stocked at Target in the US. But yeah, if you want to see a review of this, let me know, because I will try it out. I think my problem with these sort of tinted SPF products is that they often oxidize and they always lean, like this is looking very yellow tone to me. But with 13 shades, I hope I can find one. So I'm going to try to track one down and I'm going to try to review it. So these have been the things that interest me in the past week or 2. Let me know if you want to see part 2, because there's plenty that's been coming out. I'll also try to go back to doing these weekly. I've just had a lot on my plate. Our car's been broken. I haven't been able to have a break from the kids. So it's been a lot harder, but I'm going to try.